Hi folks, and welcome to Tree Stand Buddies Game On. I'm your host, Nate Cline. This week, Jeremy Kelch hunts a big rutting Ohio buck, and I stay in Ohio and try those turkeys with my Wicked Ridge crossbow. Get ready, because Tree Stand Buddies Game On starts right now.
Tree Stand Buddies Game On is brought to you by the Tree Stand Buddy, the tree stand hanging system that's coming to a tree near you. Wild Dale's Booner Builder, build your invisible food plot today. Extreme Sighting Solutions, let Extreme Sights be the solution to your sighting problems. High Country Archery, celebrating 30 years of archery excellence. Invite Team Extreme Food Plots, make them thrive 365. Bush in a Bag, your personal ground concealment system. True Fire Releases and Broadheads. Products more archers trust. Kicks Industries, Get on Target. And Walnut Grove, makers of the Booger. Products have been provided by these fine sponsors.
Well, it's the 2010 bow season. I'd been over in Ohio, I'd hunted a good bit. I'd let a buck go that normally I wouldn't, but I knew the potential of this farm. My uncle ended up just killing his biggest buck to date, 175-inch giant. So we have great expectations that we were going to be able to lay something down over there that was really big.
Kelch lives in Hundred, West Virginia, which is just a short drive from Ohio. He spends a lot of time hunting the tri-state area, but I know he gets really excited when it's time to go to Ohio.
About a week before I headed down into this bottom that I wanted to hunt, my uncle said he seen a buck that was even bigger than the one he'd killed run down to this bottom I was hunting. So I had great expectations for this bottom, especially since the year before we'd seen 130, 150, and a booner down in this bottom. And the tree stand hadn't been messed with. I decided the year before I wasn't going down into this spot until it got cold, and it was in November.
Picking the right time to hunt your spot is key.
Finally, we got the morning we wanted. I'd watched the weather forecast and I'd seen the weather was going to break. It was supposed to rain the night before, then be real cold the next morning and be clear. We headed out, got over to Ohio real early. We were there about an hour before daylight and headed out to the bottom. This particular bottom has 7 drainages that all come out to this one special point. So it's a great place for the rut. On the way to our stand, my cameraman and I, we jumped a deer up and we could smell it. And you could tell it was one of those big dominant bucks that we were after. We jumped him and we heard him run off. He probably ran 30, 40 yards and he stopped. But like I said, we were there over an hour before daylight, so we didn't think we spooked him too bad. We got up in the stand. We didn't even shoot an interview in the morning. We were so scared because this buck wasn't real far from the stand. About an hour after daylight, I look over to the right. I look at my cameraman and I say, shoot her, shoot her, shoot her.
Let's see if Kelch can hold it together for a shot on this big Ohio buck. And don't go anywhere because I'm going to take my Wicked Ridge crossbow out, see if I can't bring back a turkey. We'll be right back.
This is the Tree Stand Buddy, the easiest, safest way ever to hang your stand. With the receiver on the tree and the bracket on the stand, simply slide your stand into place. Attach the tree stand strap. You never carry your stand up the tree. Tree Stand Buddy works on virtually any hang-on stand. I put a receiver in every tree I hunt and take my stand with me.
It's that easy.
Learn more at treestandbuddy.com.
Giant here last night. Here we go. You on him? Wait, your blade's out. What? The blade popped off the dang opening again. You just blew it.
Make the switch. switch to a mechanical broadhead you can count on. The TrueFire Switchblade. Blades are easily reset, no O-rings, guaranteed not to pre-open in flight.
Man, I'm making the switch.
The TrueFire Switchblade.
Take year-round management to the next level with Invite Extreme Wildlife Systems.
Invite Extreme Wildlife Systems has everything you need to attract more wildlife and grow bigger bucks.
Quality seed blends, liquid fertilizers, herbicide, highly nutritious minerals.
You put your deer on the Invite system, you'll see the results.
Allows your property to hold more deer and better deer, as well as more wildlife in general. Use Invite's complete line and you won't regret it.
Make them thrive 365. Extreme Sighting Solutions is new this season with the Terminator. We use the strongest CNC machined aircraft grade aluminum available. We're bow hunters and we know exactly what your equipment goes through each season. Our sights are durable, lightweight, and bright. Our pins are looking at 24 inches of some of the brightest fiber optic material on the market today, giving you the visibility you need to make those tough shots count even in low light conditions. The new Terminator by Extreme Sighting Solutions just put one more advantage in your favor. Let Extreme Sights be the solution to all your sighting problems.
This portion of the show is brought to you by the Tree Stand Buddy, coming to a tree near you.
And all of a sudden I seen a deer down in the bottom that we'd jumped earlier. And I'm kind of assuming it's the same buck, but I'm not sure. And all of a sudden here comes the same buck that ran down over the bank earlier up over the hill. And I looked at my cameraman, I said, get on him, he's coming, he's coming. And he's working this path that I got about a 30-yard shot to. And on the way in, he stops and he's making a scrape, he's putting on a show. You couldn't ask anything else from a deer. Well, he'd walked through quite a few openings that I had, but I was trying to let him get closer and closer. And normally this doesn't happen because you can ask any of the guys I've ever filmed for, when I'm behind the camera, I'm shaking life like a leaf. But for some reason, with this monster buck coming in, I'm together. I'm letting this buck come closer and closer, and I hear my cameraman in the background go, you need to hurry up and kill this deer. Because, and the whole time, I don't realize why I'm saying this, but he's only got a couple feet before the tree arm runs out of room, and he's got to swirl around the tree. So I stop the deer, and as I do, he kind of quarters to just a little bit.
Now that buck wheeled into Kelch's arrow, but I'm pretty sure he put a good shot on it. Let's take a pause for this week's In the Scope. Welcome to this week's In the Scope. I'm Jesse, this is Rich. We've got two great products this week to talk about. What do you got there, Rich?
I got the Work Sharp knife and tool sharpener. This thing is going to change the way you think about sharpening tools, knives, any household accessories. It comes equipped with everything you're going to need. It's got preset angles. Let me show you something real quick. I'm going to sharpen a pair of scissors real quick right here. Them scissors are brand new. Take this guide off right here. Put this on. We're going to sharpen a knife.
And it don't take long to pull that.
Don't take long. 2 swipes and I can shave with that thing. And if you're still not a believer, I'll show you something else. Grab me that axe right there. This is a rusty old axe with a dull blade. That thing's putting a nice shine on there. If it's got an edge, you can sharpen it with the knife and tool sharpener from Work Sharp. What do you got there, Jess?
I got Wade for Tools Deer at Ease. This stuff is amazing. You take it and sprinkle a little on your boots when you're walking to the stand. And once you get to your stand, just take it and sprinkle it around, and it puts deer at ease. That's what it does.
It's amazing how calm they are coming into your stand, too. We used that the last couple of years. Put it on your boots, sprinkle it out around here. It smells like peanut butter. Yeah, it smells like peanut butter. I mean, if you're hungry, you might even want to take a taste.
Well, this one's not for human consumption.
Oh, okay, so don't take a taste. Anyhow, that does it this week for In the Scope, guys. Check us out next week for a couple great new products.
You can get your own sharpener at worksharptools.com and pick up some Deer at Ease at deeratease.com. Now, let's get back on the blood trail with Jeremy Kelch in Ohio.
I get my bow drawn. He's standing there right at 30 yards. I'd ranged the area beforehand. I knew where he was at. I let the arrow fly, and when I did, when he jumped the string, he turned towards me, and the arrow kind of hit him in the front shoulder and went back in. I knew it wasn't an ideal shot, but I felt like it was very lethal. I like to have them perfectly broadside or turned away, but You can't do anything about him twirling. And when he did, I seen the arrow go in. I was elated that I'd hit the deer, but at the same time I was scared because I didn't know how deadly the shot was.
Well, I wanted to back out, and my cameraman, he found this blood trail, and it looks like he's just pouring it out. And he wants to just walk over here to where we last seen the deer, peek over the bank. If it's not there, we're gonna back out. Hopefully he's just right over the bank. So come along with us, see what happens.
And there's my arrow, sure enough, covered in blood. The T1 had done its job. The high country blew through the shoulder of this deer, and this deer's body size was just unbelievably huge. They'd both done their job, and I looked down on the ground, and I'd went from being scared to death if I was gonna find this deer to knowing I was gonna find him, just how long I had to wait.
Well, we're almost to that bank, but I've never seen a deer bleed quite this well, so we're gonna go just a little bit farther. We definitely got lungs. There's all kinds of bubbles in it. I'm going 50 more yards. That's all the farther I'm going. If we don't see him, we're backing out. There he is, baby. He's right there. Yes! Let's go get him, baby. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh my. Folks, look at that giant. He broke his G2 off on this side, but oh my gosh, this thing is freaking huge. Like I said, folks, the shot wasn't ideal, but it worked. He made 2 scrapes. He fell by the scrapes he made this morning. This may be the deer that we jumped coming in, because that's where he come from. I don't know if you can see, but I can't even get my hands around the mass of this baby. This thing is an absolute pig. Oh, he's got to be 20 inches wide. My hands are 9 exactly. Oh yeah. He's about 19, 20 inches inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm counting that because I'm a West Virginia boy. 9, 10, 11, 12, a 13 point, and he's got a broken tine right here too. This old baby's been fighting. Surprisingly, for the mass he's got, he's not the biggest bodied deer I've ever seen. But he's an old monarch. Oh my goodness. I don't know what he's gonna score, but I know he's my biggest buck ever. Illinois, here we come. It's game over for this big giant.
I will be sitting there, I can guarantee you, the first week of November this year. Hopefully I don't have to. Hopefully I already got a big one on the ground, but if I don't, that first week of November, I'll be sitting there and you can bet your bottom dollar that we'll see another giant.
I'm sure you'll be out there when that giant comes by, Kelch. Don't go anywhere because we're going to find Wild Dale, and he's got a special guest this week, and I'm still crossbow hunting for turkeys.
Hunters, are you sick of dropping your gear from your tree stand, then having to climb back down to get it? Walnut Grove has solved an old problem with a new idea, the booger. You may be fooled by its looks, but you'll be amazed by its abilities. If you drop it, this little booger will get it. The Booger by Walnut Grove Hunting Products. Proudly made in the USA.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Wildlife Energy Drink. Hey, wake up! Energy for the great outdoors and sleepy cameramen.
Had some birds roosted in here last night. There they go right there. Never hunted this farm before, so when you come in like that off a roost, they're starting to get hot. It's just now starting to get light, so they may drop down here fairly soon. I got some decoys set out using the Wicked Ridge crossbow today, so trying something new here. New spot, new crossbow. Got the same old calls, the bat cut, our bat attack, and the green thunder. But it's been raining. I'm hoping these birds come up and strut in this open area. As far as I know, it's the only open area around, so let's see what happens.
Now I'm about as patient as anybody on the roost. I don't like to call until the birds hit the ground, but when they hit the ground and they're still gobbling, that's when it's time to call. These birds, I called and I would shut up. I would give them 10, 15 minutes of time with nothing, and they just did not move. That tells me that the hens weren't moving. I had to basically sit this out and wait for the hens to make a move.
I think a mistake a lot of guys make is when they got a bird on the roost, they call. When I was younger, I did the same thing until I had a bird stay up in the tree till 9 o'clock. Because what he's expecting is that hen to finally walk under him before he comes down. You gotta break him. You really gotta break his spirit. Make him hit the ground and come find you.
After a while, I just couldn't take it. I had to get up and get a little closer to these birds. I knew I had plenty of cover, so I got closer, called, and when I did, they were right on top of me.
Well, we were set up here. As soon as the turkey there was in this direction, they shut up for a while and see if I could use the bat attack to get one fired up. Try to get set up on this road somewhere.
Let's take a break from these turkeys and check in with Wild Dale. He's got some deer strategies for us in this week's Power Play Moment. Welcome to this week's Booner Builder Power Play Moment of the Week. I'm here again with Wild Dale. And Dale, we've got a guest with us this week.
Yeah, we got Jim Ward from Whitetail Academy. He's here showing us some of the work that he does in wildlife improvement, actually building the buck's bed and the browsing routes that actually lead the deer past the stands, keeping them where he needs them.
We know a lot about browsing routes, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
But so Jim gets pretty specialized with it. Jim, tell us a little bit about how you build basically a scene for a deer hunt.
That's exactly what I do. Is I come in, establish where the bucks already want to bed, enhance those spots, and then I make a travel corridor from there to a destination food source on the terrain features that the big buck already wants to travel on, so I can't be wrong. But I'm bringing habitat down alongside the trail so they feel comfortable, plenty of browse along there, and that's what they are, is a browsing animal.
And that's what we're leaning against right here. This is a hinge cut that you've taken care of, right? And Dale, you're already digging into it. That's browse.
That's browse right there on that elm.
Tell me why you did this and a little bit about the area we're in right now.
Okay, this is about a 2-year-old tree. This is actually be its 3rd season. What I'm doing is open up both sides of the trail to get sunlight in here, lime and fertilize, get plants growing on my trail, to have diversity. Diversity is the key that I think that deer are really after, and this is bringing all the nutrition where they want to live, where they want to eat.
When you've got a trail and a deer's going to use it, what's he going to do along that trail, Dale?
They're going to browse right along. So the idea is, with the Booner Builder, it's going to help Jim by making the plants a lot more digestible and adding more sugar to them and more nutrients. And it'll help more survivability on these hinge cuts that he's doing on these trees, allowing it to be able to take more of that stress from cutting the tree.
So through your research, what have you found as far as, I know Dale's told me that browse makes up a huge part of a deer's diet. This cover, the browse, everything you're putting together makes it more comfortable for a deer to stay on your property, right?
Exactly. The carrying capacity goes up. You can have more deer per acre on your property. They're going to be healthier deer. They're going to be more relaxed. And again, it's diversity. They're having 60 to 80% of what they're eating, from what I understand and what I see by setting out doing observation, is this. You can have the big food plot for tons of food, but the big bucks are going to hang back off of that if you're hunting them very often, and this is where we're killing them at on these trails.
I see it's thick in here. I know big bucks like thick cover, and when they're in that cover, they're going to eat a little bit of it. So Booner Builder's going to sweeten it up a little bit, and it's going to make it more digestible, right, Dale?
Correct.
That's what it's about, folks. More deer on your property. People are getting less and less acres to hunt these days, so if you can find a way to do what Jim's doing and improve your property, it'll hold more deer, and Dale's going to take Booner Builder. Combine those two, we've got a heck of a product here and a heck of a strategy to keep more deer on your property, and that's what it's about. Don't forget to go to Facebook. Wild Dale will be able to chat with you and answer some of your questions on there. Ask him anything you want about your property, and he will be able to tell you what's going on. That's it for this week's Power Play Moment of the Week. We'll see you next time.
We got a dilemma here. There's 2 roads that kind of come like this. These 2 small openings in this field. There's 2 or 3 gobblers down there. We don't know which road to pick for them to come up. It's so thick in here, they're not going to try to go through the woods. They're going to have to travel one of these roads. And if you look around, there's not even a tree to get set up against. I've heard hens, but the birds are still gobbling. Watch this. He's close. I better move. Made a move on these birds. Thought they were this way, but it sounds like he's gobbling up this road, that dilemma I was talking about. So I'm gonna get set up. This is right where we started out this morning.
These turkeys have me twisted in circles, but I have a feeling that things are gonna start looking better after the break.
Wild Dale's Booner Builder is a new one-of-a-kind product that will help you keep and route deer where you want them. With as little as 2 applications, you can turn native wood browse into a more healthy and nutritious food source that deer crave. Not a sweet treat, mineral, fertilizer, or attractant, Booner Builder works within the plant itself to increase sugar production and total health of the plant, thus making it more desirable to wildlife. Now, for the first time, you can create browsing routes that lead directly to your stand without anyone else knowing about the honey hole you've secretly created. Bring that nocturnal buck you've been after right to your stand during daylight hours with Wild Dale's Booner Builder.
This is the Tree Stand Buddy, the easiest, safest way ever to hang your stand. With the receiver on the tree and the bracket on the stand, simply slide your stand into place. Attach the tree stand strap. You never carry your stand up the tree. Tree Stand Buddy works on virtually any hang-on stand. I put a receiver in every tree I hunt and take my stand with me.
It's that easy.
Learn more at treestandbuddy.com.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Wicked Ridge.
Hunt the ridge.
The rush was on to get back to the spot that I started out originally, so when I did get set down, there was plenty of cover and plenty of brush. When I started to call, the birds were on their way. There's something about when you can hear a turkey roaring through the woods, when you can hear him getting closer and feel him in your chest. There's that spot when he pokes his head out that you know that you're about to get your shot. Well, I'd never taken a shot before with a crossbow, so I'm thinking, I want him to come out, I'd like to put on a good show for the camera, but at the same time, I want to take a bird home that I've taken with a crossbow. It would be a first for me. Every turkey I've ever killed was with a shotgun, so to take a bird with a crossbow was going to be a huge accomplishment for me. The birds cleared the brush, I knew we had plenty of video, so I took my shot. The cool thing about using a crossbow is you don't have the noise that you have with a shotgun. So the second gobbler that was there decided to just beat up on my bird that was already on the ground. It was pretty cool to sit there and watch him fight it out with a bird that was already done. That Wicked Ridge crossbow put one through him and that bird was completely out of it.
That was awesome. Awesome. It's my first bird without a shotgun, and it was with the Wicked Ridge crossbow. Guys, if you've never tried a crossbow, I like hearing the gun go bang, but that was awesome because that second bird that was with him didn't fly, didn't run, came over and kind of beat my bird up a little bit right there. So let's go see what I got. I'm excited, man. That was an awesome hunt. The bush in the back worked perfectly. The bat attack had those birds on a rope, baby, up here. Once they committed, they were ours. Let's go see what that T1 True Fire Broadhead did to that bird. It didn't go anywhere. It just, boom. And that's what it's supposed to happen.
Nice turkey, nice, real nice. Set my bush in the back down here, and that Wicked Ridge crossbow. That was a cool combination this morning, along with the game on game calls. This bird, boys, look at the hooks on this thing. This turkey's got some spurs now. I don't know if you can zoom in and see this, but look at those. That's probably 1.5 inch spur. This one looks like it's rounded off just a little bit, but it's well over 1 inch, 1.25 inches. And that big full tail fan, that's where the shot went in right there. Look at the beard on him. 9, 10 inch beard, all wet. It rained a little bit this morning. It's the first time I've ever used that Wicked Ridge crossbow for a turkey, and boy was it exciting. Well, the Wicked Ridge crossbow was definitely a cool experience for me. And if you want a cool experience, go to Invite Food Plot's Facebook page, post I want my Invite food plot on their wall, and the boys from Invite will pick a winner each week and send you a food plot that you can hunt over. Also, go to Wildlife Energy's Facebook page. They're giving away a free boar hunt. They've got all the rules and regulations right there on the Facebook page. That's going to do it for this week's show. We'll see you right back here next week on Tree Stand Buddies Game On.
Tree Stand Buddies Game On has been brought to you by Tree Stand Buddy at treestandbuddy.com. Wild Dale's Booner Builder at boonerbuilder.com. Extreme Sighting Solutions at extremesights.com. High Country Archery at highcountryarchery.com. Invite Team Extreme Food Plots at invitefpf.com. Bush in a Bag at bushnabag.com. Truefire releases and broadheads at truefire.com. Kicks Industries at kicks-ind.com. Game On Game Calls at outdoorinsightstv.com. And Walnut Grove at walnutgrovehunting.com. Products have been provided by these fine sponsors. Tree Stand Buddies Game On has been an Outdoor Insights television production. Find us online at outdoorinsightstv.com or on Facebook and Twitter.
We've seen a great big giant, 70 inch. We couldn't really tell how many points he had. Then we've seen a 150 inch 10 point.
Well, the Ricked, 3, 2, 1. Well, 3, 2, 1. Well, the Wicked Ridge crossbow was definitely a cool experience for me.